Hi guys. Well, good morning. So today, this is what we're going to do. We're going to a location. It's about 20 kilometers from where I live. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about this particular location. Now, it's really nothing spectacular. It's just a barn. It's a red-colored barn. I shot this property before. It's one of the older kind of barns that I really like to shoot, but I shot this property before, and I did that back in fall of last year. So when I shot this property and I edited this property, I really liked the image, so of course I printed it, framed it, put it out there into the galleries and so on for sale. Well, this image sold. It sold really very well for me. But being notoriously bad at saving data and saving files correctly, my file management sucks big time. It's a huge problem I have, and I've really got to get on top of it. So anyhow, I ended up losing the file. I lost the raw file, I lost the JPEG, I lost the printing file, I lost the file. Having said that, I said, you know what, I've really got to get back to that property and try to recreate or reshoot that same scene. So today, that's what we're going to do. Hey, Gary here with Gary Clayton Photography. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just stopping right now at McDonald's to get myself a cup of coffee, and then we're going to hit the road. I'll talk to you in just a minute. You stand by. So yeah, I've got myself a cup of coffee now for the ride, so that's good. So right now it's about 5:15 in the morning. So we got up bright and early. We're going to see what the conditions are going to be like. Now, when I took this original image, it took me about 3 hours of being on that location or at that location to actually capture this image, just to get the sky right and the light right and so on. And I thought I did. It really was a beautiful image. And I guess other people thought so because it sold very well. When I took the original image, the sky was really quite unique. It had what I call a mackerel sky. And it was beautiful. I doubt if I'll get that today. Now, about another 5 or 6 kilometers down the road from there is another location which is called Pretty River Valley. Now this is a location where there's a stream running through the forest and it looks really pretty. I captured that image about 2 years ago. Now that image also has been an exceptionally well-performing and selling image for me. So because we're going to be in that general area, I thought, you know what, we're going to go back to that location and we're going to reshoot that image. The original image I took in the wintertime, I'm going to recreate that image again now in the summertime, see how that turns out. Now, even though I took it in the wintertime, there wasn't a lot of snow on the ground. There's maybe just the odd little bit of snow here and there. But today, totally different time of year. We're going to see what it looks like. In fact, right now, I'm going to post that image that I took a couple of years ago for you to have a look at and see what you think. Take a look at that image about now. Well guys, we've arrived at the location. Now, there is some activity here early this morning because this is a working farm. So two things. I've got to be really careful not to kind of disturb the people or cause any interference to their privacy. It is a working farm, so I don't want to get in anybody's way. I'm going to be shooting from the actual road itself onto the property. Right across the street is a really interesting property, which is also a farm. I'm going to turn the GoPro around, you can see that. And that's actually a grain farm. What they do there is they produce grain. It gets stored in those silos. And this grain is all for feed, for animal feed. And then it's shipped all over the place, all over Ontario for grain for cattle, or for feed for cattle. The property we're actually shooting is on the other side of the street, but this is the property we're actually shooting today. So you know what guys, this really is an amazing location. The sun's just starting maybe to come up. You can see some pink in the sky there. We might be able to get some reasonable shots there. The sun's going to be coming up almost directly behind us, so we're kind of shooting into the west, maybe slightly northwest is where the direction we're shooting into, which is fine. Yeah, so Here's the drone. I got it ready to go. Today I'm going to be using my Canon 7D. And I'm going to start with my Canon 28 to 135mm lens. We have our tripod, of course. We're going to be needing the tripod today. Plus we've brought with us our usual filters, polarizers, ND filters and so on. And I have a selection of lenses with me. I have my 10 to 22, which is my wide angle lens. But anyhow, we're going to continue here. We're going to get set up. We're going to get the camera mounted on a tripod. I just wanted to take a minute and show you guys around. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere here. It's a nice little country setting. In fact, it's a beautiful location. And it's really a nice morning. We are seeing some great interest in the sky. You know what? If we do this right today, we might be able to get some nice images. And of course, we're going to be looking at all those shortly. But we're going to have a look at the sunrise. We're also going to see if we can pop up the drone, have a little look with some aerial footage, see where we go. Talk to you in a bit. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, so we're set up on the tripod. Now, we have a focal length right now of 30mm. Now, it's our crop sensor. We have an ISO of 200. We have a f-stop of f8, and it's giving us a shutter speed of 1/10 of a second. Of course, we are on a tripod for that. So here we go. Let's take this shot. Let's see what happens. With 2-second timer, there's the shot. You can see it. I don't know if you can see that shot there in the viewfinder, but there it is. But anyhow, okay, so we set up, we did that. Again, I'm using my Canon 7D and I'm using my Canon 28 to 135mm lens. I did park my car in a bit of an awkward position on a bit of a hill, and I'm going to have to go move that, but we are going to move now to our next location. Let's see what happens. See you in a bit, guys. Right now we're about 5 kilometers west of the small village of Nottawa. Nottawa is a small village south of the town, or the small city of Collingwood, Ontario. So that's where we're located. We're out in the countryside. It's a beautiful location. Now, as far as the drone goes, I could not put the drone up at the location where we were shooting the barn. If you recall, across the street is where those big metal silos were. Way too much magnetic interference. So it just didn't happen. But what I did do was, coming down the road here, we happened to get some really nice light on this country road. There's some nice cornfields, trees, some hills in the background. So I did launch the drone there, and we did capture a little bit of that kind of local countryside footage. So you're going to see that, well, probably right now. Okay, so we're at the Pretty River Valley Conservation Area, or Provincial Park, and we're going to head into the trail there and just hike up a short way to the location that I was at a couple of years ago where I did that particular shot. So as you can probably see now, things have gotten much darker. One thing I notice is, and it's really quite amazing, and I'm going to show you guys, there's no greenery whatsoever on the bottom of these trees, or going quite a ways up. There's only greenery on the top where the sunlight is. There's just no sunlight that penetrates down here. So it just constantly stays brown. really is interesting, and we are going to take a couple of shots of this in a few minutes actually. In fact, having said that, tell you what, I'm going to set up the tripod here. Let's see if we can capture an image of this because it looks really interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting through here. So you know what, we're going to set up here, we're going to try to capture an image. I think vertical orientation or portrait orientation is the way to go here. So yeah, let's give this a little try. Now it's super dark in here, so we are going to take a minute and we're going to connect up the cable release because it is super dark in here. So I have my cable release. That's what we're going to do. You don't need to see me do all this, so I guess what? You know what? I'm just going to turn you off for a minute, and then I'll put you back on when we're ready. Okay, guys, so we're set up now. So I've gone again with the vertical orientation, so I have my L bracket on my tripod. Great. It's really dark in here. I am using a focal length of about 36 millimeters, and again, that's on a crop sensor. Let's see what that's giving us for settings, because it's super dark. So at f8 at an ISO of 200, it's giving me 1 second. So 1 second exposure. Let's just take a look and see. Okay, I'm going to put that image up right now. So there, what do you think? I mean, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I love this kind of stuff. I'm going to play around with this just a little bit more, just to see the composition a little bit more. Maybe just bring that in a little tighter. Try that. A little, let me see, change the focal length to about 52 millimeters, again on a crop sensor. So around 80 mil on a full frame sensor. But yeah, I like it. That's good. Okay, we're going to carry on. We're going to head over to the stream or the river area, which is over this way. Okay, so now we're set up here at the side of the stream. It's really beautiful. It's stunning. I want to slow down the movement of the water, so I want to show movement in my image. With that in mind, I need a longer shutter speed. Now, I have changed the f-stop to f22, but I'm still using no filters. I don't think I need a polarizer, but I might, and I might go back to the car and get that anyhow, but it's really not bright at all through here, so I really don't see the benefit of the polarizer right now. At an ISO of 200, that's giving me a 5-second shutter speed. Let's take a little peek. So there, that's that image captured. Okay guys, so we've changed lenses. We've now got the wide lens on there, the 10 to 22 mm Canon lens. Totally changes perspective, of course. Much wider. Actually, quite amazing the difference these things make. So let's just take a look here. We have a 5-second exposure. Let's take a look at that. So a 5-second exposure. Nice thing. Try that again. One more now at 22 mm, again on a crop sensor. And then just for fun, let's go all the way out to 10 mm. So yeah, that's it. those images. Whoa, gotta watch my step. Really slippery down here. I noticed just around the bend, there seems to be a little more sunlight. I can see it coming through the tree. So we're going to walk around there now. We're just going to take a look and see what's going on over there. So you know what, guys? Continuing to walk further up the side of the stream, I come to another area that's got a nice little bend to the left, but it's a longer kind of expanse or a longer section of the stream. So I'm setting up here, and I'm going to try a shot through here. Now, maybe this particular lens now is too wide for this particular shot, so I might have to go back to my 28 to 135. I don't know. But you know what? Unless I try it, I won't know, will I? Sometimes I get emails about questions, and 90% of the time, or a lot of the time, I answer the questions by saying, well, I don't know, but give it a try, see what happens. I'm actually a big believer in that. You know, when I'm just not sure how something's going to turn out, take the shot, take the image, set up, have a look, see what happens. In today's age of digital photography, everything can be deleted. It's not a problem. So anyhow, let's just take a look through here and see what we can get, because it's looking really interesting. I love this location, as I've said. So again, settings are all the same. ISO 200, f-stop f22. We've got a 5-second shutter speed. Five seconds is gone. There you go. Interesting. Liking it. Let's have a look at some other focal lengths. Again, going through all the range of focal lengths on this particular lens, which is my 10 to 22. And let's see what we get. It's so nice just being here, listening to the stream, listening to the kind of singing or the sounds of the water. I do kind of like that. It's nice. It's really nice to get out. I love landscape photography. I like all my areas and genres of photography, but landscape photography is just something that, you know, you can just get out there and enjoy it, and there's no pressure. If I don't capture a good image today, hey, I have to come back tomorrow. I think I could do that. Okay, we've got those. Yeah, what a great morning. Thank you, guys. Hey, something I keep forgetting to say. If you like what we're doing, please give us a like, give us a share, send us a comment. We will get back to you. And please subscribe. Again, I need all the subscribers I can get. Thank you. Talk to you in a bit.